Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Jett by Lisa Lang Blakeney. Narrated by Brooke, Hayden, and Jeremy York. Before him, Adrienne. I was a fortunate child, raised by two parents who were genuinely in love with each other. It was normal for me to see them laugh, hug, and kiss each other all the time. To be clear, they weren't inappropriately demonstrative in front of me, but they were tastefully affectionate, and everyone could see that they truly enjoyed each other's company and definitely were in love with each other. They were best friends until the day my father died, and watching their interaction with each other deeply influenced me. It's probably why I've loved little boys ever since I can remember. I wanted a boy to love me just like my father loved my mother. I know, it was a complete setup for failure. Let me give you an example. In kindergarten, I befriended a boy named Brad Hines. He was the funniest kid in school who always wore a super cool Mickey Mouse Ringer t-shirt and had chewy fruit snacks in his lunchbox. He often traded me his fruit chews for my red delicious apples, and I knew it had to be because he liked me. Why else would anyone want an apple instead of those yummy candy-like fruit chews? It had to be love. But if it was love, it confused me. Brad would sit next to me on the class carpet squares during music class, but never played with me during recess. We traded our snacks during lunch period, but he never ate lunch with me. He cheered me on when we played organized games like Duck, Duck, Goose, but he never picked me to be the goose. Why wouldn't he pick me? It made little sense to my 5-year-old brain. This confusing relationship of ours went on until the end of 3rd grade, when he and his family unceremoniously moved away from New York. They gave the students in the class no heads up about it, so instead I showed up for the first day of 4th grade in my brand new green dress, and Brad wasn't there. That would be the anticlimactic end of our friendship. It wouldn't be until years later that I'd realize how significant the nature of that childhood crush impacted me. As I matured, I realized that Brad only saw me like any other kid in school. I was a classroom friend. That's it. It was me who completely romanticized the relationship because I desperately wanted to mimic what I grew up seeing. But by this time, the damage was done. The hurt I felt by his rejection of me would take root and become the foundation for all of my relationships with boys and eventually men. I wanted them to love me, but their actions confused me. I wanted one to be my best friend, yet I didn't know how to effectively communicate with them. And most of all, I expected a man to share his deepest secrets with me, yet I didn't trust them. Each relationship failure battered my self-esteem, and so I sought to bolster it with hard work and dedication in other areas of my life. I studied hard, played very little, worked out excessively, and slept the bare minimum. Even with all of my professional success, though, there was one thing that continued to elude me: love. But all of that was about to change the moment I met him.
1. Jett. It's game day, the 4th quarter, and we're playing our division rivals, Philadelphia, in a brutal game. The rivalry is deep and personal for many on the team and the fans in the seats. Players are spitting on each other, saying crude things about each other's mothers, and my ribs have just been Malachi crunched by 2 of the biggest defensive backs I've ever seen. As I catch my breath, my heart is pounding straight through my chest, and the abnormal October heat wave we're dealing with is only exacerbating things. It's hot as Hades out here, the fans are drunk, and I feel the pressure of having to prove something today more than ever before. My name is Jason Jett Carraway, and I'm the starting quarterback of the New York Nighthawks. They are the 3rd team I've played for in 4 years in the National Football League, and that ain't good. A quarterback who moves from team to team this often is a signal to the league, and especially to the fans, that I'm a problem. A very expensive problem. That's why I need to win this game today. If we win, we'll be one step closer to clinching the division, but more importantly, I need to prove all of my naysayers wrong. I need to convince New York that they made a wise investment picking me up in the trade and not a foolish decision. I can't even believe that it's come to this. Not that long ago, I was the #1 pick of the NFL draft. Instead of being known as just another quarterback with a powerful arm, every team looking for a quarterback that year also wanted me for my speed and agility. I was the complete package, a coach's dream, the unicorn. That year, I was at the top of every team's wish list. Many companies were lined up to give me endorsement deals, and my agent negotiated an obscene amount of money for me, which at the time was an unprecedented contract for a rookie quarterback. They discussed my groundbreaking deal on every sports show in the nation, so much so that veteran players around the league complained. They'd never even met me, but already didn't like me, saying things like I didn't deserve the money because I hadn't proven myself yet. They even said I would ruin the game for everyone if I accepted such an outrageous deal. The nerve of those has-beens. I was the top dog in collegiate sports and deserved every bit of that money. I had proven myself on the field in college repeatedly. Hell, I have the accolades to prove it. I won my university the big championship and broke 2 of my school's records and 1 state record in passing yards. Who were they to question my worth? So I took the deal. And yes, after I signed on the dotted line, I flamboyantly spent a lot of my paycheck on cars, houses, and definitely on women, but I'm young and successful, and it's my right to spend my money however I want to. Right? You would think that would be the case, but the press hasn't always seen it that way. I've been the target of blatantly biased reporting ever since my rookie year. The headlines have been brutal. Top draft pick, spotted drunk and belligerent in local bar. Again. Extravagant Nighthawk quarterback hires a modern-day butler. Caraway selfishly vacations with a Kardashian during training camp. League admits Caraway deal is the beginning of a dangerous precedent in professional sports. You be the judge. Is Jett Caraway a golden boy or spoiled boy? Things only got worse towards the end of my rookie year. Through hard work and grit, I got our team to the big dance and playing in my first Super Bowl. We had to win a lot of tough games in order to get there, but on that day we were outplayed and outcoached. So we lost. It was disappointing and soul-crushing. No amount of money in the world would ever change the fact that I got to the Super Bowl and lost it in front of millions of people. I wasn't used to losing, and whatever their opinion of my personal life, the fans weren't used to me losing either. Losing is not in my DNA, but I'm also a realist and understand that losing can sometimes be part of the game. It happens. Which is why I still don't get, to this day, why people only blame me for the results of the game that day. They said I choked, but I've never choked in a game in my life. They said I wasn't a good leader, but conveniently forgot it was my leadership that got us to the Super Bowl in the first place. They said I was selfish and immature, but I showed nothing but respect to my teammates and coaches. I always have. I'm Texas born and bred. We come out of the womb revering our elders. The vitriol thrown my way, especially from some of my own teammates, shocked and angered me, and because they hurt my feelings, I reacted and asked the front office to be traded. But to my surprise, they agreed. I was unceremoniously traded to another team who traded me again 2 years later. And now I'm here, in a city that doesn't want me. With my previous team, I played under the bright lights under a multi-million-dollar dome on brand-new turf paid for by the thousands of fans who filled the seats every game. But everything is different with the Nighthawks. We play in an older stadium on real grass under the sun or the stars, rain or shine. And the fans are different. They're grittier, tougher, and very dedicated to the team. New York is a big football market and has some of the most loyal and toughest fans in the league, even though their ticket prices are probably some of the highest in the nation. Unfortunately, those same fans think I'm some sort of selfish, undisciplined, immature, overpaid flop. Probably because a picture has been painted through countless media interviews and op-ed pieces that I am. I'm certain that the negativity from the press since my college days has seeped into the consciousness of this entire city. They've been brainwashed. And now they hate me. The overall consensus of the fans here is that they wish management would go with our backup quarterback, Josh Rivera, instead of me. He's the beloved homegrown veteran from Queens, New York, and I'm the jinxed kid from Texas that nobody believes in. So you see what I'm up against, right? They're all just waiting for me to make one mistake, and then they'll call for my head on a platter. I can't let today be that one mistake. While I may be extremely nervous right now because we're losing this game in a close score and I just got the shit knocked out of me, I also realize that today is a great chance for me to show the world what I'm really made of. I'm that kid growing up who arrived to practice early and left late. I'm the kid who trained twice as hard as anybody else during the off-season to build muscle and increase my accuracy. I'm the kid who lives, eats, and shits football. It's in my blood, and I truly believe it's my destiny to be the best who ever did it. That destiny starts now. 2. Jett. We're standing huddled on the sideline as I give my offense a quick motivational speech. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but it's my job as quarterback to spur my team to victory. "This game is far from over," I say, with adrenaline running through my veins. "Their defense is getting tired. Let's run the play just like we have 100 times in practice. Let's get some points on the board. Hawks!" we chant in unison. We get ready to run a play that we've practiced during preseason many times. For once today, my offensive line is protecting me well, giving me plenty of time to find an open man. As I scan the field, I smile to myself when I notice that one of our best wide receivers, Mark Gibson, is downfield and being held by only one man 5 inches shorter than him. Perfect. The other team has made a huge mistake on man-to-man coverage. There's no way that dude can hold my receiver. I can toss the ball up high and long, and it's a sure bet that Gibson will catch it. This is it. This is my opportunity to turn this game around, and I feel it in every fiber of my being. I step back and throw the ball with precision to Gibson and wait as the ball glides through the air in what feels almost like slow motion. The packed crowd of hometown spectators cheer in anticipation of the catch, and the suspense of the moment is palpable. But what I don't see, and didn't predict, is one of the opposing team's big-ass tight ends running clear across the field in front of my open guy. It's Wally Mansfield, the bane of my existence. The two of us are from neighboring towns in Texas, and products of the same NFL rookie class. He was the highest-ranked tight end in the draft, and we've played against each other many times during our college careers. He is abnormally big, athletic, and fast. No one can bring him down. I mean, it takes like 3 or 4 men to accomplish it. If we were on the same team, he'd be my new best friend. But he's not. He never is. Even though we play unique positions, we've been pitted against each other since we were young enough to care about football, and nothing has changed now. Wally stretches his freakishly long arms into the air and intercepts the ball as if I threw it specifically to him, and starts running toward the end zone like an Olympic track star. This dude is a beast. Known around the league for his enormous size and speed, he effortlessly whizzes by my lineman and is headed straight for the red zone to make a touchdown. I see pitchforks in my future. I feel it before I ever see a thing. A defensive lineman on the opposing team tackles me from behind, and I awkwardly tumble to the turf on one side of my body, face first. Then I hear a crack. And then a searing pain racks every fiber of my being. Fuck! I can hear faint boos from the crowd as the other team runs into the end zone and performs a highly orchestrated touchdown dance. They don't realize yet that it won't count. The asshat who tackled me late is going to be fouled for roughing the passer. Sure enough, it doesn't take long for the spectators to become eerily silent as they see yellow penalty flags thrown on the field and me writhing in pain on the ground. I see several sets of cleats running towards me. "Hold on, Jett," one trainer bends down to say. "We're getting the cart." "No," I say through gritted teeth. "Help me up." "We don't want to make the injury worse. We're getting the cart." "No," I demand again. "Help me up." Getting carted off the field is not the highlight I want plastered on every sports channel in the nation. It will be a better look if I make my own way off to the locker room with some help. "You sure, man?" one of my teammates asks, his eyes full of sympathy. I nod my head yes, preferring not to talk anymore in fear that I'll fucking cry. The crowd lightly claps as two of the trainers gingerly help me up and off the field. I can walk fine because it's my shoulder that's messed up. I pray that it's not what I think it is. A broken collarbone is the kiss of death for a quarterback because the recovery time is so long. While team physicians numb me with painkillers and proceed with x-rays, the team's quarterback coach, Trent Bantam, sits with me. He's an ex-NFL quarterback and one of the few people in this organization who I believe has never judged me. I respect him a lot. "This doesn't look good, does it?" I ask him. His eyes drop. "It's probably your collarbone." "Is Rivera out there?" "Yeah, they're on the field now." This is absolutely the worst thing that could have happened. I lower my head. "There are worse things, man. Your shoulder will heal. Been there, done that. It hurts like hell. It will hurt for a while, but that's not the hard part. The hard part is when it stops hurting and you still can't play because your bones haven't healed. That's when it gets really hard." "Aren't you supposed to be making me feel better? Because I'm not really feeling this pep talk, Coach." He chuckles. "Let's just wait to see what Doc has to say." About 15 minutes later, the Nighthawks team doctor comes in the room with a solemn face. "Painkillers kick in yet?" "No, I think all you gave me were a couple of Flintstones vitamins." The doctor smiles reservedly. "I'll give you some stronger stuff for later because you need to be home to take it." "So what's the damage?" I ask him. "Just tell it to me straight." "The bad news is that it's a pretty serious clavicle fracture. The good news is that it's not your throwing arm, so you could come back at the end of the season. It really depends on how you heal." Damn it. "I'm going to put you in a sling for now, but you're going to need to see a specialist at Mercy West. He may recommend surgery. They'll probably want to implant some metal rods and screws to help you heal properly." "What's the minimum time, you think?" "At least 6 weeks." I close my eyes in utter disbelief at my horrible luck. I've never been seriously injured before, and now I'm going to probably be out most of the season. What the hell am I going to do? "I'll be right back with the sling." For a moment, I forget Coach T is even in the room until he speaks again. "This could be a blessing in disguise." My eyes flash open. "How?" "Use this time to lie low and keep your name out of the press. No trips to any Caribbean islands. No grandiose purchases. No celebrities in your bed. Just stay under the radar." For a moment, Coach's recommendation feels like a parental reprimand, but then I remember who I'm talking to and recognize it for what it is: well-intentioned advice and a little tough love. I have little choice now, do I? There's always a choice, Jett. The question is, will you finally make the right ones to salvage your career? Salvage? I feel totally offended. I've barely gotten started. I don't think my career is in a place where it needs to be salvaged. Coach T looks around to make sure no one is listening, as if he's not really supposed to be sharing what he's about to say to me. This is a pivotal moment in your life, Jett. Trust me, I've been there. You think your life is forever set when you're at the top of your game and the money is flowing, but then a life-changing event happens that rocks your entire world, and today is that event. When I was leading the Saints, I went out with a back injury for 6 weeks, and by the time I recovered, someone took my slot. Now I'm coaching quarterbacks instead of being one. That won't happen to me. That's what I said, too. What am I supposed to do? I've put everything on the line for this team since I've gotten here, and now my collarbone is broken. It's not fair. How can I stop them from replacing me? Nothing is fair about this game. A lot of it is luck, but what you can control is the other work you need to do. The internal stuff. Just rest and heal, lie low, do what the docs tell you, and stay under the radar. Don't you paint or some artsy shit like that? I nod my head, yes. Few people know this about me, but I enjoy painting as a release from the physicality of football. Give me some tubes of Old Holland oil paints and a few brushes, and I'm a happy man. And quit fighting with the media all the time. Stop giving them shit to write about. The front office will take notice, and you'll be more likely to have a job when you're ready to return. Trent stops talking when the doctor returns, and I remain silent myself as the doctor wraps my shoulder and arm in a bandage, then rests it in a sling. Lie low. Be quiet. Stay under the radar. I'm Jason Jett Carraway, one of the most highly recognizable athletes of the year. That's going to be virtually impossible for me. But to keep doing the one thing that I eat, shit, and breathe, I'll give it my best shot.
3. Adrienne. Are you all right? Just a kick in the gut, I tell Penny, the nursing supervisor of Mercy West's pediatric clinic. I'll be fine. I should have sent Mary in there with you. She could have held the little demon down. I chuckle lightly. My last patient of the day is one of my favorites. He's an intelligent little 7-year-old boy with a bright smile and a bad reputation. He hates inoculations, and the doctors and nurses in the clinic loathe giving them to him. Every year, without fail, he kicks someone straight in the gut, and this year, I'm the lucky one. He's a strong one, but I'll survive. I finish my last patient chart and hand it to Penny for filing. Dr. Hodges, do you have any idea when they're going to finally transition us to a fully digitized record-keeping system? Dr. Hart has a meeting with the hospital to discuss it next week. Discuss it? She says, unconvinced. It's a budget issue, I sigh. In this economy, the hospital has to be careful about any non-budgeted spending. It has to make sense. Sure, I understand. Penny sounds disappointed, and I totally understand why. I admittedly feel the same way. The changes they promised me were coming when I was selected for a residency in the pediatric department of Mercy West Family Medicine differ greatly from what's actually come to fruition. I'm in no position to question the system, though. I am a resident who is hoping for a permanent spot with the hospital, preferably here at the clinic. So I keep my head down, I work long hours, and pray that I am making a difference for all the little patients that I see. I check the time on my phone and then slide it in my purse. I'm actually going to make it home early for once in 3 months. My fiancé, Troy, is going to be so excited to have dinner at a normal hour. We don't technically live together, but he spends a great deal of time at my apartment because we both work in New York City, but he lives across the river in New Jersey, so it's just easier for him to stay over at my place a couple of nights a week. You have plans with that sweet fiancé of yours tonight? Yeah, I'm going to cook him my famous chili, but with vegetarian ingredients. I don't think I've ever had chili. It's not something I grew up eating. Well, most folks use ground beef, but I'm going to use the plant-based burger crumbles in mine. It's still delicious, and will have a sort of smoky flavor to it. Oh, sounds yummy. I'm sure he'll love that. Yeah, he's been so understanding about my work hours lately that it's the least I can do. I can't imagine how hard it must be to be a resident here and also be in a relationship with someone. I will not lie. There are definitely tough days, but I'm very committed to my work and to my relationship. Sometimes I have to compromise or make a hard decision about one over the other, but it all seems to work out in the end. Troy is a very understanding partner, and most of all, he's my best friend. Penny sighs. Maybe that's why I'm still single. That's a hard combination to find. No, Penny, you're only single because your Mr. Perfect has yet to reveal himself. He's coming. From your lips to God's ears, she chuckles. Trust me, I thought after my last relationship that I'd never find the right man, but falling in love with Troy has changed everything. I'm a genuine believer. How did you meet him again? She asks wistfully. And what do I need to do to meet his doppelganger? Join a new church? Get on a dating website? Sacrifice my firstborn child? I didn't really have a strategy. I smile. I guess I was just lucky. We have a mutual friend who introduced us. He thought we'd be perfect together, and he was right. You are so lucky. It's hard out here for us single girls. Trust me, when I tell you, you should hold on to that one you've got. I nod in agreement. I will. Penny turns toward the file folder cabinet and says, Have a good night with your Mr. Perfect. I don't work for the next 3 days, so I'll see you on my next day on. Thanks, Penny. Good night. Good night. I dash to the supermarket to pick up the fresh ingredients I need to make my chili. I don't have time to soak the beans overnight like I normally would, so I settle for canned beans instead. Troy won't know the difference. It's all about the seasonings, anyway. I decide to use my time in the store to check in on my mom. She's been a widower for 4 years now, and I worry about her sometimes. She's still quite young and could easily date again, but she's just not motivated to meet anyone new. Even in death, she's completely faithful to my father. In some ways, it's a moving tribute of her commitment to him. Hi, Mommy. Hey, sweetie. What are you doing? Oh, I'm trying to replicate a recipe I pulled out of my women's magazine. What is it? Nothing you would want. It's for marinated lamb chops. But you already make a great grilled lamb chop. You and your father loved them grilled and practically burnt, but I never did. Just trying to see if I can prepare them a different way. I didn't realize that you didn't like your chops that way. Not a big deal. I'm not that picky about my food. Huh. Right. So, where are you, sweetie? I'm in the market picking up some things for dinner. I'm cooking tonight, too. Oh, that's nice. What's on the menu? Vegetarian chili. That sounds interesting. I'm sure Troy will like that. While I am making this dish, hoping Troy will enjoy it, I realize that there's something about my mom's comment that rubs me the wrong way. Well, sure, he probably will like it, but that's not the only reason I'm making it. What's more important is that it's the healthier option. Of course, dear. You're right. I heard many people lose weight on those vegetarian diets. I roll my eyes. That's not why either, Mom. My mother changes the subject because I get touchy when she alludes to some sort of problem with my weight. I am built very much like my stocky paternal grandmother and not at all like my mother's waif-thin side of the family. A fact I've accepted long ago, but one she never lets me forget. Listen, sweetie, your cousin wanted me to double-check that you can attend her bridal shower. Of course I can, I say with an attitude. I already told her that I was coming. My first cousin, Cecily, is the biggest pain in the ass since she got engaged. She is a classic bridezilla, wanting to control every single part of the planning of her wedding. I have told her on 3 different occasions through text messages I was confirmed for her shower, but that isn't good enough for her. Now she's getting the moms involved. Our mothers are twin sisters and very close, but Cecily and I couldn't be more different. In fact, we barely tolerate each other. Don't get so frustrated with her, Adrienne. The date of the shower is right around the corner and you work a lot. She just wants to make sure that all of her family is there. When you finally start planning your big day, you'll see how much of a monumental task the planning.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?